Hey, are we ready?
Ready or not.
I have just been smiling so much. Life is so wonderful. I just am blown away. Kelly sent me a video this week of this 102-year-old woman, and she's talking about bliss. You know, Kelly had mentioned bliss earlier, but I'm coming to realize that we really can live our life in bliss. That even in our trials and tribulations and the things that are difficult and that hurt, we can embrace them and enjoy them, no matter how crazy that sounds. Like, it's all for our gain and for our learning. I have had the last 9 months, but the last week has been so amazing. My health, my spiritual, just the way that I feel spiritually. I stopped fasting every other day at day 30, and I miss it. It's something I'm going to start doing again, but been eating every day. And I just spent the last week with my younger two kids and just had such a wonderful time. And it was just, you know, I worked my butt off, and I get home and hang out with them, and it's just like every second of my day, from the moment that I wake up to the moment I go to bed, I never believed it was possible for me to be happy and to really be at peace and to be like, it's like everywhere I go, I'm just, and I'm not bragging or trying to boast or anything, but I'm just nice to people. Mm-hmm. Like in line, people checking me out. This girl the other day, I'm like, so how you doing? She's like, oh, it just sucks. And she's passing me through, and then she got halfway through doing my food, and she was like, swore, and she had to start over because she didn't re-log herself in or something. She's like, it's just been one of those days. I'm like, I'm so sorry. You know, I hope your day gets better. But I haven't had a day, and it has to do with me being disconnected, not disconnected from everybody, but not codependent, you know, really looking at myself and just being able to observe the behavior around me without it really affecting me internally. And it's so freeing. It is just so peaceful. And I realized something this week, that for all of us addicts, and I'm speaking to the whole world, I mean, yeah. What are we addicted to? For whatever we're addicted to, when we can break free of that thing that we are just so attached to, it changes everything. Our whole life can be just beautiful. And mine is, you know, I've said many times that there's just so much stuff in my life that I could be so worked up about, but my life is just so peaceful and abundant. And, you know, I'm not suffering with drug addiction today. I'm not suffering with the pain of loss. I'm not suffering with the fear of failure or the fear of success. I have given my life over, and I no longer have to worry about anything. I literally 100% do not worry about anything. I haven't worried and sat around and said, what am I going to do, in a long time. And my life is just so peaceful. I don't know. I know that it takes a lot of work, and me and Kelly have been working on ourselves now for quite a while. But
like my whole life. But
yeah, I mean, we did.
But intentionally, truly intentionally, for a couple of years.
Yeah, and we've mentioned this, and the whole decade that I spent reading self-help books, that really helped me a lot. It didn't help me the whole decade that I did it. I mean, I was just still stuck in misery and with all this knowledge of how to help myself. I wrote a book on how to love myself, and I never applied it. But now I'm not reading any self-help books. I'm doing things that are helping me, and life is beautiful. All we have
really
is, I'm going to make one more comment. All we have is today. And I learned that from my sister Katie. We as Christians and people that have more of an eternal perspective, we think, okay, we're going to endure this life. We're going to hold on strong and fight through the day. And someday, Jesus is going to take it all and I'm going to be happy. No, Jesus already took it all. He did it.
Yeah.
Today is eternity.
Yeah.
Today is eternity. Not tomorrow, not a billion years from now. Today is the day to be happy.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I do. And I'm so blissful so much of the time now, and it's just like...
Such a beautiful word.
It is. Now, so over the past few days, I have had some things coming up. I've had some, I've been reading a book about boundaries. And so I am still, I just have so much to learn, because I've recognized how, like, truly deeply ingrained my codependent behaviors and thinking, like my thinking with other people. But I'm very aware of it. I know it's happening when it's happening. And I recognize, I understand what I need to do to get out of that thinking. I know how to get myself present and pull myself out. But over the past day or two, I've been really caught up in something that's has taken my peace away. Like, truly, I know it's a strong one. It's really a strong one. And I'm like, I want so much to be completely freed of that codependency of thinking about other people, thinking about what can I do to help another person? What can I, especially when you just don't know what to do. Which
you do know what to do.
We can't really.
What to do.
Yeah, it's a challenging thing to be close, to be in a very close relationship with another person who is suffering and struggling, and to know that we are powerless, really, to make changes in another person's life unless that other person wants change. It's just so hard whenever I am in a state of bliss and I'm making choices in my life that, like, I want the Spirit in my life. Like, I love feeling it. Fasting for the month of July every other day has made me so aware of how much the Spirit, like, can move our lives and fill our lives and just bring us peace, bring us to just keep us in that blissful state. It really, and it doesn't, like, fasting is so funny because, fasting, it's like you're not doing anything. It's like your lack of doing something is what brings this presence. It's not eating. It's just interesting to think about that, like, the void of something, or the lack of, like, I don't even know what words to even say. How to.
It frees up a lot of time. That's for sure. You mentioned that last time.
Yeah, it does. What else did you say? You said something that, just the worry. Yeah, I've recognized a little bit of that over the past day or two. And I so want to be freed of that, and I am. Like, most of the time, I would say probably 98% of the time, I am so good. And it's just, it shows that, this life, it's about getting rid of all of these things, and it's a lifelong process, and like I said, like most of the time I'm wonderful, but then these little things come up and I'm like, okay, I've got this here, I've got this in me. Like,
come on, Mama. I'll go ahead and say it's Dad. Come on, we can worry. I mean, you're right, and just thinking about what I just said, I really am like just completely like just in this place, and it's not a pink cloud. It's not some place that I've gone and I'm gonna fall off of it. I know I've said it last time. All I have to do is continue to work on myself every day,
right.
and it's just a habit now. But saying all that, I do have sympathy, and I do have empathy, and I do feel for the things that other people are going through. But it's not that codependency where I'm feeling it and I'm hurting. I can be there for people, I can, but I don't have to. And I just mentioned this with Kelly, the word long suffering that you hear in the scriptures. And I was talking with my dad last night, and so many times people hear the word long suffering, and it's like we got to go through life, suffer through this life so that we can be happy someday. No, that's not long suffering. Long suffering is to be there for each other when other people are going through hard times, when other people are struggling. If we are living right, we can be there for people and suffer with them without actually having that yoke on us, because God is able to take that and we're able to lift other people up because we're in a place spiritually where we can be there for them. And I love being available for people because I never have before. And it's new to me, so it's very, very exciting. It's so exciting to be able to just love and not think about myself, So the other night it was midnight and my kids are hungry. It's like, I just fed you 3 hours ago, but they're growing kids. It's after midnight actually, and one wants a tomato sandwich, the other one wants tomato soup, and at first I'm like, and then I'm like, what a great opportunity. So what if it's midnight and I got to get up at 6:30? Big deal. I'm not going to have this opportunity a few years from now. They're not going to want to. It's just, life goes so fast. My older 2 daughters now, I barely ever see them. So it is, whenever you love somebody so much, it is hard not to hurt. But we don't have to actually, long suffering, we don't have to suffer. We can be happy and still give our energy, because we are building up this resource, this source within us where we have some to share, and we have that ability to lift others up.
Yeah. Right.
And I guess it's just being hard on ourselves, which it's just a hard habit to break.
It is, and that's really truly what it is. It's just these behaviors and these patterns that's just always been in there.
50 years old.
Right. And that come up because I'm not perfected.
Yeah.
Especially in relationships with other people. That's the beautiful thing about having relationships with people, is that we're able to, it's like we're these rocks with all these rough edges, and we're able to smooth these edges off, as we're in relationship with people and we're experiencing all these things. And I love whenever we recognize those moments, like the moments with your kids, in the kitchen, cooking, making food for them at, after midnight. I love having those moments of realization of this is eternity, and grab those moments and enjoy them. You know, just enjoy doing things that are random and weird, and that you feel like, oh my gosh, people are going to judge me and look at me weird. So what? I mean, I went to a mattress store with my kids one time on a Saturday looking for mattresses, and we were the only people in the store, and I asked the store manager if I could jump on the beds. I mean, and he said yes. I was like, what? I was surprised that he said yes. So I bounced. I mean, you know, there's 50 beds in a store, and I just bounced and jumped from bed to bed to bed. And it was so fun. Like, I've never done that in my life. I'll probably never do it again. But I mean, if we don't ask, you know, and it's taking those opportunities to just have fun and enjoy this life and to just do weird stuff. You know, it's fun. That's what this life is about, is just to enjoy it and to be with our loved ones, to serve one another, to lift one another, to help one another, to feel the Spirit in our lives. I mean, that really is. It's to bring that goodness into the life of other people whenever we feel it in our own life. And I know that for me, like, the things that I'm kind of dealing with right now, I know what brings peace into my life. Like, I know the practices that I need to do in order to get out of that codependent mind, you know. And I'm so grateful. I'm learning, like I said, I'm reading a book about boundaries, because boundaries has been something, you know, whenever you're codependent, you don't have boundaries. There are no boundaries. And so I've never, like, truly understood boundaries. I've never had boundaries. And so it's something that I have read about in the past, and I thought I had them, but I did not. I mean, I realized today that I did not. And so I really want to learn about that and learn how to create that in a loving way that helps my relationships with other people. You know, it's not about, like I recognize that I have had walls around me, and walls are completely different than boundaries. I mean, yes. I've had walls that definitely keep people out, and walls that have kept people really in. Mm-hmm. They've been trapped in the wall with me, you know. So it's just learning how to break down those walls and to place boundaries instead, because boundaries are things that really, they're there to improve relationships and help us to love one another in healthy, good ways.
Yeah, those walls suck.
Yeah.
Because I'm on the outside of a lot of walls that I've created.
Right, you know? Right.
And it's however long it takes for people to chip their wall down, I'm chipping on this side very non-invasively, but I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, right.
If you want that wall to come down, once you start tapping, it's going to be ready to fall down. Because this whole side is gone. All you got is one little tap, and that wall is going to be gone. Right. It's all up to whoever you are. But it is, you know, I was just thinking about addicts in general, and one of the hardest things about it is self-esteem. You know, I have dealt for a long time with a very low self-esteem because of things that I've done, places I've been, getting arrested, doing stupid things, being a menace to society, being a danger to the world. And part of recovery, and part of the hardest part for an addict that's either recovered or recovering, is forgiving ourselves. Mm-hmm. And saying, okay, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I obey the laws. I don't have to worry about a cop behind me. I don't have to worry about anything. I am a law-abiding, honest, good person, and my past does not define me. If you've struggled with addiction, and I mean, it's all of us, whatever your addiction is, but some of us happen to be criminals in our past. Call it what it is. But that doesn't define us. That doesn't define who we are today. And the best thing that I've ever done is and I got this advice from President Ori, somebody that I just admire so much. I hope it's okay that I said your name, but he told me just to be busy, that I need to be busy. I need to engross my life in being busy, doing things, because he knew that I live a life and I've always been very busy, like I've talked about before. Finding, using, being, doing my job, taking care of, cleaning house, kids, whatever. And I just had so much to do with my addiction. And now that that's gone, I've got so much time. But you are worth it. We are worth it. Get busy, even if it's a minimum wage job or whatever. I mean, who cares? You know, just get busy doing something. And the depression, I haven't been depressed since I stopped taking depression medication. It took me about a month, so about a year. I think it's been about 9, I don't even know. It's been a long time. I have not had a single day of depression. Now, I have had some really powerful cries, just sobbing, and I know I've mentioned that. Just very healing, good stuff. But to actually have that chronic depression, I don't believe in it anymore. I believe it's a place that we put ourselves. And nobody has to stay there. All we have to do is work on, and my dad always said it, and we've talked about it before. He always said, if you just get busy, it'll go away. Well, there's a lot more to it.
Yeah.
We got to be honest, and we have to work on ourselves. But being busy and having stuff to do really is a key factor to being healthy.
Yeah, and you can't tell a person who has depression that you need to get busy, because I mean, someone that has depression,
we've talked. Yeah,
that doesn't help.
I've been that person.
Yeah,
for
me
sure.
too. Like, don't tell me to get busy.
Yeah, it's definitely a process, and we've already said, medications, rehabs, whatever it takes. I mean, some people are so scared to take that step, but if you're done being miserable, you can be. I have been the most miserable person. Me too. I mean, I think I tie for. I know there's plenty of people out there that have been just as miserable as me, so I'm not trying to one-up anybody. There's a lot of us that have been very miserable. But I see so many people that have a past like I have that are just so happy every day. And they're living happy. And it's not just some show. And I actually had this thought when I was going over to your house. I watched one of our videos recently. And I looked at myself, and my talking is like I'm just kind of morose. And I do it on purpose because I don't want to look fake. But the bottom line is I'm being fake because this is how I am. This is like my sister Carrie saw it for the last few days. My kids saw it for the last week. It's just who I am. So for me to sit here and talk to y'all like this and just kind of be peaceful, I'm not being me. And I'm trying to put on this, I'm trying to hide how I really feel. And that's what I've always done in the past. So I'm being fake again. I'm trying to act like...
Because you don't want to be too intense for people.
Yeah, I don't want to be too intense for people and say, this works. This works, people. This works. It's working for me.
Yeah.
It does. It does. And I don't need to sit around and act like I'm not happy all the time. Because it's good. It's good to be happy all the time. I mean, it's just, it's possible to live in that 102-year-old. Can you imagine what she feels like? Like her body's 102 years old. There's no more cell rejuvenation. It's all break down from that point. But she was so happy and so sweet and so positive in this old body. And it's like, that's who I want to be.
Yeah.
I want to be 102 years old with that smile on my face, just happy.
Yeah.
And it's, life's too good not to be.
So, and we know what the things that we need to do, it's it's doing all the things that we talk about. It's the eating well, it's the exercising, it's sleeping
Yes.
well, and it's so incredible. I mean, really is amazing what this fasting has done for me.
Me
like
too.
it has just taught me so much about food, my food choices, the things that I put into my body. I mean, it's helped my sleep. Like, I have not slept as well as I have in the past month. Like, for I don't know, my whole life,
Ever.
I feel like.
Ever.
And sleep is such a huge, such an important part of feeling well and being well.
Yeah.
It's just all of it, it's all the stuff that we put into our minds and all the choices that we make. At church today, a guy was talking about choices and how important it is for us to have the Spirit, like, helping us to make choices, just making good choices. And that really, our lives really boil down to our choices, the little choices that we make every minute. I mean,
Making your bed.
yeah, making your bed.
Something that simple.
Seriously, it really does boil down to just those little bitty things.
Yeah.
It's just not hard. And we make everything. We complicate. We can complicate some stuff. I mean, we really can. And it just doesn't have to be that hard.
It's just simple.
It really is.
And that's part of the 12-step program. It is a simple program for complicated people.
Yeah.
We want to complicate everything, but really, life is as simple as admit you got something that you just can't stand about yourself. You're completely, it's taken over your life, whatever it is, any aspect of life. If it's a person, codependency, whatever. Admit that it's going on, find somebody to talk to about it, get it all out, and just change. And then share it with others. Because if you don't share what you've got, you're going to lose it. Give it away. And it's for me to sit here and try and hold back how happy I am, it's like I'm just being a fraud like I've always been. And my thing is, like, people are going to think I'm faking it. So the rest of my days, I'm walking around like super happy, and then I get on here and record and I have to calm myself down. It's like maybe people are going to think that now I'm on speed,
Right.
But you mentioned the fasting thing, not only the sleeping, the waking up in the morning. First thing, I am as happy as can be. Like, I bounce out of bed, I pray, I do my meditation, and then after sleeping all night long, I sleep like 6 hours. So after sleeping all night long and then praying and stuff, and then I think, wow, I'm like a 14-year-old boy. I have to pee. And I go and I pee like a 14-year-old boy. And I know this is really random to say, but all you 45-plus-year-old men out there, if you have a prostate problem and you get up multiple times throughout the night, fast for a month every other day. Your prostate will shrink. My prostate shrank. That's all I can say. And I can tell you that it is your body eating the stuff that doesn't belong there. And it's all over us. It's in our prostate, it's in our stomach, it's in our intestines, in our liver, kidneys. Every part of our body has unhealthy cells. And when we're not eating, our body is eating that out. In our arteries, we've got plaque. It's getting eaten out. Our blood flow's better. I can't wait to get my blood test done. I'm going to do this again and then do it. I plan on starting another 30-day fast in a week or two. But it's transforming.
Yeah, it is. It's been good. It's been good for me.
In every single aspect. Spiritually, mentally, physically, morally, financially. You're not eating for
goodness.
a day.
My food bill has gone in half. Truly.
Or if not more, because the days that you eat, you're not eating as much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I spent $30 on a good multivitamin so that I'm making sure that I'm getting everything. But it affects every single aspect of my life. And I know that it would work for anybody. I've watched
Yeah.
a lot of testimonies on it.
I mean, it's not necessarily easy, like at first it
First
was
week.
not easy, because I mean you're just so used to eating, but then after that, like, I mean, there are times on my not eating days I'm just not even hungry.
Not a bit.
There have been a couple times where I have been, and I have had dizziness, or I've had like not feeling quite right, but I think it's just I do have low weight and
I had
stuff,
a couple mornings that I woke up at 4 a.m. and I went and had a big bowl of fruit
yeah.
because I was like, I gotta eat.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's eat day,
Yeah.
you know. And then I wasn't hungry again. I mean, it's like you just don't
It's
get
just-
hungry.
Yeah. It's just neat. It's a really cool way for us to be able to have experiences that we don't normally have, and to recognize things about ourselves that we just would not recognize. I mean, it does. It opens our eyes up to a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's been really good.
It
But
is.
but I don't want to like talk about fasting every single time. Like, although I mean
it is a
it's
wonderful
just,
subject.
It really is. There's so much to say, because
Yeah.
I mean I've been living it for a month,
Yeah.
and so.
I love y'all.
All right.
Life is wonderful.
It is. All right.
Talk to you soon.
Bye, y'all.